Hi, welcome to episode 21 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers. I'm Jamie, the dyer behind M1 Yarns, and today I'm coming to you from Metro Detroit, Michigan, where it is the end of 2021. So I thought it would be really fun to end the year on episode 21. So I thought it would be fun to do a little year-end recap of some of my makes, some of my stash acquisitions, because it's been a little minute. And so thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. I do have a Patreon. There is a link in the profile, or you can look me up on patreon.com. Just search the word M, the letter M, the number 1, Yarns. And the Patreon account helps support my mission to take this show on the road, highlight other makers, other fiber businesses, and bring you lots of fibery joy to your home. Today I'm sipping on some Stash Maple Apple Cider. This was the tea that I included in this year's Advent kits. And so if you purchased one, I hope you're enjoying the tea as much as I am. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So my husband had asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and at the very top of my list was this bag by DellaQ. There goes Jack, don't mind him. And this bag is just amazing. It comes with, I don't know if you can even see, but it has all these pockets. That thing is a yarn cutter doodad. There's all these organizational things, shoulder strap, handles, outer pockets, and I just love it. Really nice, heavy, sturdy canvas, and I'm looking forward to getting use out of this. So that was a fun Christmas gift. Couple other acquisitions I've made lately. My friend Amanda of MelantedBohoBae spun these gorgeous skeins, and this was in one of her latest shop updates. If you don't follow Amanda, you really should. She is a spinner and just fiber woman extraordinaire. So I'm looking forward to knitting something with these gorgeous babies. Let's see what else I got. I was recently at a retreat and bumped into my friend Cece of Cece'sWool, and we did a little swap, and I got this gorgeous skein. This is fin sheep, worsted weight, and it's plant dyed with marigold. So this is going to become, I think, a hat. I'm thinking. Well, we shall see. Plans for next year. Also, at the retreat, I was vending side by side with Youghigheny Yarns, and we did a little exchange, and she gifted me this beautiful, this is her common Welsh green on Mondike, and I haven't decided what I'm going to make with this yet. Any suggestions? I also ran into Tannei Casey, who, if you're not familiar with Tannei, I will link her shop. She is a project bag maker, and I've purchased one of her bags previously, and I ended up getting 2 of these. I have fuzz all over it, so you'll have to forgive me. 2 of these humongous large sweater quantity. Oh, I've got all sorts. I've got nail file. I've got S.O.S cords. We should talk about this if you're not familiar with that. Anyway, I got this one from her, and you can tell I've already put them to use. And this one, and they are just I can't say enough good things about these bags. So Tannei was a total sweetheart, and I really enjoyed getting to know her. So that is kind of, let's see, I just ordered something new and exciting, but I'll save that for the next episode. So if you're not familiar with S.O.S cords, I added these to the shop since the last episode. And if you follow me on Instagram, I've explained a little bit, and I just added like an instructional video on how they work. But with each set, you get 2 30-inch cords and 1 60-inch cord. And the 30-inch cords are for your sleeves when you're like knitting top down and you want to put your stitches on holders. And then the 60-inch would be when you want to put your torso stitches on hold and try your garment on as you knit. And if you can kind of see here, it's a hollow tube, and you just insert your needle tip into the tube, slide your stitches onto the cord, and when you're ready, slide them back on the needle. It's easier than I'm making it sound. I'm not explaining it well. Anyway, I have them available in black and red, and the red is limited edition, but there are still some in the shop. And what was I going to say about this? I don't know. It'll come to me in a moment, I'm sure. So that's that. I only have 1 whip on my needles because last night I finished this sweater. So what I'm wearing is the Novice Sweater by PetiteKnit, and this is knit with Luminosa by Cascade Yarns, and the color is called Tiger's Eye. It's black with it's like a gold core with black alpaca blown through. It's absolutely gorgeous. I got this at Knitty City in 2019, and I knew I wanted to kind of pare down some of my stash, which is a good segue. You're hearing it first and foremost that January, I'll insert it here. I haven't determined a launch date, but sometime mid-January, I'm going to kick off a stash busting knit along. And the only rule is it has to be yarn from your stash that you purchased before January 1st. So you have a couple days to buy some yarn if you need some stash. But if you're like me and you have some that really needs to be used and moved off the shelf, or, you know, out of the basket and into a garment or whatever project you want to make. So there's going to be some prizes. I will put all the details down below in the show notes, but I thought it would be fun to kick off the new year with a stash buster make along. So I hope you'll join me. So this was a stash buster, and I basically knit it to pattern. I probably knit the sleeves a little bit shorter because I'm petite. And, oh, I did not knit it to pattern. I'm wrong. I did sleeve decreases. The sleeves originally were like straight down, I believe, and then like a decrease at the end. I could be wrong. Now I'm like doubting myself. Anyway, I modified the sleeve decreases basically because I wanted a tighter sleeve. If I were to knit it again, I'll stand up so you can kind of see the body. I would probably, I don't know what this is, thread. I would probably do some waist shaping because I really like that for my figure. But this is basically what I wanted. I wanted a fuzzy, cozy, basic black, throw over, wear, you know, dress up, dress down, and I'm really pleased with it. And so yeah, this only took about 9 days to knit, and if I hadn't been knitting on something else, probably would have been less. Highly recommend. I love all her patterns. So that leaves me with one whip to finish by the end of the year. And today's the, I think today's the 28th. So I have 4 days. I can do it. I'm on the first sleeve of, I know this looks like a hot mess on here because I have all these tails. This is the Kaleidoscope Cardi by KnitCollage, and I'm knitting it with a bunch of scraps and a bunch of scrap yarn spun into yarn, and I'm really loving it. It's totally the boho look that I've been wanting in my life. So I'm on the first sleeve, obviously. I got my second sleeve on S.O.S cords. This is a great illustration of the cords in action. So here you can see the S.O.S cords holding the stitches for my next sleeve, but I could totally try this on because of the flexibility and length of this cord. So, yeah, this was a fun, chunky pattern. Highly, highly recommend. And a great stash buster. So if you're looking for a project for the stash busting knit along, you could do that. Add in some bulky yarns. So I have some new and exciting things on the horizon over here at M1 Yarns. It's been a little bit of downtime because I had foot surgery in late November, and so I was in a cast for 10 days, and now I'm in a surgical boot. I still have a week to go on my recovery, hopefully. I have a follow-up with my doctor, and hopefully he clears me so I can get back to dyeing yarn. But while I've been out of the dye pans, I've been making the most of my time with my knitting needles. And so I've gotten, I think, 6 projects done in 6 weeks, I want to say. But I made a little Instagram post the other day about all my makes for 2021 so far. It did not include this because I finished this last night. And I thought it would be fun to do like a little lightning round, in no particular order, recap of all my makes, and to see if off the top of my head I can remember all the names of the patterns. So let's dive in. These were the I'm already off to a bad start. I don't remember. These were some socks for the sock make along. This was the sweater I knit for my husband. This is the Dayton pullover. And this pattern is so cool. It comes in a kids and a ladies version. And I am planning to knit this pattern for myself this year. Also, this is my hand-dyed yarn. And the colorway will probably be added to the shop as soon as I get back to the dye pans. So, this was the, let's see, where is it? Felix Pullover by Savory Knitting, and this is my green olives colorway. This was Bright Feather by Knit Love Wool, and this is my hand-dyed yarn in denim, and the white tone is undyed mohair. This is mohair held double. I love her patterns. This is the Asteria Tank by Maven Crafted. And someone asked me, how did you, so I actually finished 26, because when I was pulling all these items out, I realized I had one I forgot to add to my Ravelry. Someone asked me, how did you make so many makes in 2021? There were a couple contributing factors. 1, I did quite a few bulky sweaters. 2, I did quite a few like tanks and summer tops. And 3, being on the couch recovering from surgery, I cranked out quite a bit. So the project I forgot to add to my Ravelry queue is actually a kit that is still available in the shop. This is the Bulky let's try this again. Bulky Boucle Hat. The pattern is by me. It is a boucle yarn held with a mini skein of fingering weight, and it's a snap-on palm, super beginner friendly, and I'll try it on so you can see. I look totally weird in hats, in my opinion, but totally cozy. Love how it feels. This is still available in the shop in pink and like a charcoal black. So that was another one. Spring Sorrel by Wool and Pine. This was cotton yarn that I dyed. Equinox Shawl by Lisa Overby. This is a fun, like, Netflix and knit pattern. This is a one skein wonder, and that was really fun. Wavelength by Tina Say Knits. The navy was my hand-dyed yarn, and the contrast was Lola Bean that I got at Rhinebeck 2019. All right, let's see if we can do it. This is also by Tina Say Knits. Get it right way around. This is called the Breathe It In Shawl. And this is my hot rod yarn in eggplant and slate, I want to say. I don't know. I'm having a brain fart. Stripes by Andrea Mowry, using 16 mini skeins held with a fingering weight. Oh, Little secret little top, something like that, by Jessie May. This is my sport weight yarn. It's getting washed out a little bit. It's more, it's a little closer. It's more like highlighter yellow in reality, but it's looking butter yellow on the screen. I'm trying to cover my face so it focuses. This is my sport weight in Viola. Framework Bralette by Jessie May. Huge Jessie May fan. These are all kind of wrinkly because they just got taken out of storage. This is the Aria by the Drunk Knitter. This is and this is my hand-dyed cotton yarn. This is a fun pattern, so if you're looking ahead towards spring, recommend. Another Jessie May. This pattern is just about to get released. I want to say later this week. This is the Winter Crop. I test knit this for her, and super great pattern. Would knit again. Kaleidoscope Embroidered by KnitCollage. Feelin' Groovy cardigan. This was a Scrapbuster. Feelin' Groovy cardigan is also by KnitCollage. This was a Scrapbuster and my first FO of 2021. We got a mountain of sweaters over here. And last but not least was a test knit that I did early this year for a beautiful designer. This is the S.O.S. dress. 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 This is the S.O.S by Siga Lagamta, I want to say her name is pronounced. I'm sure I'm butchering that. And this is super cozy. I just wore this to a gathering of some maker friends, and I felt totally festive and fibery in that dress. I did have, I think that's everything except the 3 makes I gifted this year. I made the Skift sweater, which is a baby / toddler pattern for a friend who's having a baby, her first. I'll insert a photo here. Great pattern, would highly recommend. I think I knit it in 3 days. Then I knit a pull the wool over hat for my stepfather for Christmas, and there are kits in the shop available still. I'll insert a photo of that. And then for my mom for Christmas, I knit her a pair of the Traveling Cables. I always mess up the name. Traveling Cables hand warmers. It's a free pattern by Pearl Soho, and I knit it with my sport weight merino in the seaweed. So, that makes 26 makes for the year. And so my current whip, the Kaleidoscope Cardi, will be 26. I would say that's a pretty productive year. Let's see, thinking ahead to the next year, I do have a bunch of makes I want to get on the needles ASAP. I'm looking at my project wall. I have a bodysuit that I plan on casting on ASAP. I have several pullovers, a cowl, just lots of stuff. I really hope next year is as productive as this year. But as for the podcast, I have some great things planned, some interviews, some field trips, if you will, and lots more adventure. So thanks for joining me in 2021, and I hope to see you in 2022. Wishing you and your families a happy holiday season and all the best. Bye.